Hey everybody, welcome to our Wednesday night Asked and Answered. Today's question is, tell me about Adam and Eve's children. Well, there was Cain and Abel. Cain murdered Abel. That was not good, evil, wickedness, mortal sin. And then Adam and Eve had Seth. Seth was another son that they had. And the Bible says that they had other sons and daughters. And the Bible doesn't, insofar as I can recall, tell us a whole lot of anything about those other sons and daughters. And we follow the line, we follow the descendants of Cain, whom the Bible may perhaps refer to as the children of men, and the line of Seth, which in some places it seems the Bible refers to as the sons of God. And Seth is carries this blessing, which Cain, at least in some ways, forfeited when he committed the wicked sin of murder. Cain never lost the love of God. God continued to love him and to care for him. We see that in that God protects Cain, and as God puts this mark on Cain that he might be safe from anyone, maybe those other sons and daughters who want to avenge the death of Abel. And so Abel is dead, righteous Abel, and he goes to the Lord. And Cain's descendants commit lots of wickedness, and from Seth comes the children of the promise. So that's basically it about Adam and Eve's children. Cain and Seth did need wives, and so where did they get wives from? Well, there are two theories as to how Cain and Seth got wives. One theory, and the church doesn't definitively say either one. One theory is that, they married their sisters. And the idea being that at the very beginning of the human race, that was the only humans that there were. So while it would not be good today to marry one sister, we don't do that. That in those days there was nobody else to marry, and that's how you expanded the human race. So that's what they did, and that's how that worked out. Some people postulate that at the beginning of these human genetics, that such a marriage wouldn't have the likelihood of having some sort of genetic defect or sickness or something in the children, because it was there at the beginning of the human race. I'm not sure if that's right or not. I'm not a geneticist. I don't know enough about how that works to make a good judgment there, but that's one of the things that I've heard. Another theory, a newer theory, is that, when God gave a soul to the first man and the first woman, when God immediately created a soul, if Adam and Eve, if they were the first the first ones to evolve sufficiently such that the body was capable of receiving a soul, if in God's great plan that he wanted what would become humans to pass these various stages of evolutionary development. Adam and Eve, they had the proper physical characteristics, like the proper brain structure and so forth, that would by which they could be a body soul unity. God, at the moment of conception, that's what he does. He gave them souls, and they were fully and authentically human, but they could still, or their children, let's say, who were in the midst of sin, and in the midst of original sin, out of the garden, could have fathered or mothered children with a pre-human species. I don't know if there were Homo neanderthals, right? There were Neanderthals or other human-like species around precisely where they were. We don't know precisely where they were, but the idea is that they could have had children with other human-like species, and any of those children would have had a soul immediately created by God. And from there, the human race is propagated, all of us with our souls. So those are the two major theories that are out there as to how The human race continued to be populated after Adam and Eve and Seth and Cain and so forth. What we do know, so we don't know if it's one of those or if there's something else that some other theory that I don't know of, or if the way it actually happened is something that we've not yet thought of, or maybe we'll never think of and just kind of know when we're with the Lord in heaven. One thing we do know is that there's only one Adam and Eve. There's only one first couple. There's not Adam and Eve in one place, and then Adam and Eve, another Adam and Eve in another place, and another Adam and Eve and still a third place. But there's simply one first couple. Monogenism is what that's called, and the church does stand very strongly behind that. The church doesn't teach it infallibly, but the church stands very strongly about monogenism, one Adam and Eve. So that's Cain, and that's Abel, and that's Seth, and that's something about their brothers and sisters, and maybe a little of what happened to get to the descendants of Seth who walked in the way of the Lord for the most part for a while, until right before the flood. But that's another story. And the descendants of Cain who generally did wicked and evil things. So hope that answers your question. You have a great night. God bless you.